What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. We have some news about upcoming summoning events, guys. And you want to save your void shards, if you have any. Of course, if you're in the same situation like me, one shard is pretty much all that we need, right? We're going to get lucky with one shard in our dreams. Either way, we're going to get to that part in a second. We do have some other events going on at the moment. So the summoning events will be for Friday, guys, as usual. We do have a new summoning pool, Mighty Soul Summoning Pool. I gotta say, we have some pretty nice champions in here. We have Elva, we have Ancora, Dead Knight, Duchess, Nick Motar, Armans, Otorian, Steltus, Ragash. And epics, we have quite a few decent ones. Phoenix, Ferrokin, Ugo, Doompriest, Venomage, Magnar, Allure, Husk. So you can definitely, Geomancer right there. You can definitely hope that you are going to get something decent out of it. If you are completing the champion training tournament, you're going to get one summon out of it. I haven't really started to do anything in here. But you need 10,000 points to basically get one summon from here. I might actually push this champion training tournament. I might not. I'm not 100% sure yet. I've done so much champion training for the Hero Pair event that I feel like I can't be bothered with it again, right? So, we're going to have the very first tournament for the Shogun and the Sand Devils Necropolis. I'm not sure if I've seen it in the news or was somewhere else. I know that I've seen it somewhere, like is about to start. Maybe, I think it was here and they removed it. I think it was here and they removed it because 1000% I saw it in game. Seems like it's not in game anymore. That's a bit strange. Why? Why? And it's not even on the calendar either. So maybe it was not meant to start just yet, but I 1,000,000% saw it in the game, guys. Seems like it completely vanished, okay? It's not on the calendar either. So, what you can expect from Friday, we're basically going to have a champion chase tournament. We're not going to have a summon rush. It's going to be a champion chase tournament because we have a 2x, right? Usually when we have a 2x, it usually goes with a champion chase rather than a summon rush. It's going to be a 2x on Void Shard. So let me just quickly read it for you guys. This Friday, April 4th, they're planning to launch 2 events simultaneously. They're planning to launch a 2x event to summon epic and legendary champions from Void Shards, which will double your chances from 0.5 to 1% and to 16% for epics. Also, they are planning to launch a 10x event to summon Chalco the Blind from Void Shards. Now, this is a very good event. It is only a 10x. You know the drill. I don't have to say it to you every single time. Those events tend to suck in terms of drop rates, but it's together with a 2x, and it's on Voids. On Voids is not as bad as on the non-Void legendaries, and is a very strong legendary. So if you are opening Void Shards anyway because you want to open them, and you get lucky enough to hit this bad boy, really strong champion. To be honest, he's at the top of my most wanted as a Void legendary. Chalco the Blind, he does a lot of funky things, pretty good base stats. He's an attack-based champion. With the A1, attacks an enemy twice. Each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense. Will ignore an additional 5% defense for each debuff on the target. Also steals 10% of the target's turn meter. Has a 50% chance of repeating the attack against other targets except the initial target, who is under 2 or more debuffs. So, pretty good overall for a basic skill. Then you have the A2, which attacks an enemy twice. The first hit places a block active skill and a defense down for 2 turns. And the second hit will apply a debuff spread effect, taking all of the debuffs from the enemy and spreading them onto all of the other enemies. And this usually doesn't trigger a polymorph either, which is actually really good. And this was the very, very first champion that actually had the debuff spread effect that spreads all of the debuffs, not just 2 random ones or anything like that. And it will grant him an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. Now, he does deal pretty good damage, guys. It's not necessarily only a PvP champion. He's very, very good for PvE. In the Hydra, he really surprised me. He dealt a lot of damage. With the A3, attacks all enemies before attacking, places an increased accuracy on this champion, decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns, and places a decreased speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. So you're not only going to get damage out of this champion, you're actually going to bring in a lot of utility with the spread debuffs. You can basically pair him with Raiho Bone Spear, you can pair him with single target champions that are actually landing debuffs and then spread them with him on to all of the other heads in the Hydra, for example, and do damage and get an increased accuracy on himself, of course, but you have the decreased speed AoE. And the passive is actually really, really good. This champion is immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, fear, true fear, and petrification debuffs. Whenever an enemy attempts to place one of these debuffs on the champion, instantly activates Inducer of Panic skill against that enemy, and it will not set the skill on cooldown. Now, this is the Inducer of Panic. He's very good versus Marichka and Taras, especially if that Taras is not in Stone Skin, and that's mainly because he will put fear on him, Taras, right? And he will instantly use the A2 on Taras, which can either put a block passive skill, and the decreased defense down on Taras, which will make him a very weak champion after, because you can just one-shot him. So it's really, really good. And it's not just versus him. If we're talking about Arbais, Armans, many of these champions that do crowd control, he's actually really, really strong versus that. And even in the Hydra clan boss, you have the Head of Torment, right? You have the Provoke that drops from the Head of Rat, if I'm not mistaken. So you do have quite a bit of utility out of the champion. Increases the damage dealt by 5% for each debuff placed by this champion or an ally. The damage increase resets each time a skill is used on the champion and stacks up to 50%. So if you're landing a lot of debuffs before he's going to use any of the skills, he's going to do a lot of additional damage, especially in the Hydra clan boss, because you're going to be able to basically stack up a lot of debuffs quickly because you have 4 targets, right? So that makes him really, really good. And you have an increased ally accuracy in all battles by 70. The reviews, as you guys can probably notice, are actually really, really good. He is a strong champion. Now, I haven't tried him in the Chimera, to be honest. I don't necessarily think that he's going to be super good in there. He doesn't bring his own increased attack. He doesn't bring his own perfect veil or anything like that. But he could potentially deal a lot of damage. My main issue with most of the champions in the Chimera is not having the ability to somehow survive the ram form, right? Which just reflects a lot of stupid damage back onto the attacker. So that is one of my main issues. But hey, maybe a lot of you guys tried him in the Chimera and he's actually really smacking it in there. Of course, if you're gonna have a 6-star crushing rand on him, without a doubt, he's going to absolutely demolish any boss. I love the design on the champion, not the front. I kind of hate that face, but I love the back. I know I'm saying it all the time, but this reminds me of Diablo, right? How you have this face right there on the back and the wings look really, really badass. I do have a guide on this champion. Feel free to check it out. If you go on my channel and you click on that little magnifier to search on the channel, just input the name and you're going to be able to see the guide if you're interested. As I've mentioned, Cena is my most wanted Void Legendary at the moment, right? So I would love to get her. Then probably, I feel like is in between Chalco and Arnor. Those three are my most wanted Void Legendaries. Let's not forget Cena. So definitely a solid one. Who knows? Maybe my one shard will make it happen. Now, they haven't announced a new fusion just yet, guys. I can already tell you to prepare for the new fusion because we are 1000% going to have it. Most likely it will only be announced next week. So we don't know if the fusion champion will be good. It will be trash or anything like that. But it's better to kind of like maybe start preparing for it, save some of the resources that you have on your account. 2x is great. With the 10x is actually better because it gives you a chance to get a solid champion. If it would have been a 10x on a random S champion that nobody cares about, then yeah, it would have been pretty pointless to try and open. But I feel like it is worth it to gamble a few voids if you like the champion. Personally, I think he's a really strong champion. Either way, that's pretty much everything that we have in terms of upcoming summoning events for this weekend, guys. As I've mentioned, the tournament from here disappeared. Probably was an error, was not meant to be in the game. I'm sure some of you guys probably saw it already. Either way, appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.